gotta go live on IG. Oh, peace, family. We in the building. Y'all see, we got a special guest. We got a family member in the building. Go ahead and introduce. Well, before we do that, let's get everybody into the chat, and I'm gonna set up IG, and then we'll do allow you to do introductions for those who may not know who you are and your mastery ways. So let me get this set up so that way IG is good to go. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Hopefully everybody's ready to go. Oh, you in the building? Peace, y'all. Peace, peace, peace. Bring your agriculture questions. If you're struggling to grow plants, this is the time to get your questions answered. You in the building? Peace, family. Where's IG? Come on, IG. Don't act bougie today. Let me get this situated. No, I'll do it this way, right? Let me see. Forgive me, y'all. We getting set up. Yo, y'all in the building. All right, hold on. Did you put it in the?
No, you didn't. I put it in the wrong place.
You did. No, you did. You did. Put it in the chat. In the chat.
It said connect to comment. Is that gonna mess up the internet connection?
Nah, it should be the comment section. That's where you're gonna put your comments at. So
okay,
you should be good there. And then where's the other one? Get this. That's that one. And let me set up IG. Hopefully y'all doing well today. We're gonna get y'all squared away with agriculture. With Sister Me in the building. And this is gonna be a good beginner's guide for those who are thinking about starting a garden, you know? Let's start. All right. So that's IG. All right, we about to get started. We about to get going, y'all. I know y'all like, man, y'all never on time. I know.
Well, that ain't right.
Let's get gardening. All right, we gonna be live on IG. We live on that. All right, we are live. All right. Thank you for y'all's patience. And this is gonna be a good class, y'all. So take your notes. We have somebody very special. Sister Mia, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people and what you do. Don't forget to breathe.
Peace, fam. It's good to see y'all.
Yeah.
It looked like I said it like 3 times, huh?
It's all good.
All right. Can you see my PDF?
You want me to pull it up now? Let me pull it up. Boom. You see it on the screen?
Okay, yeah. All right. So today we're going to talk about just basics of planning. If you have a small garden or you want to start a small garden, if you want to plant something indoors, something like herbs or whatever floats your boat. That's what this is, to help you not be to take on that challenge, which is really easier than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The agenda. Here's the agenda. We're going to talk about why it's important to grow your own, planning what you want to grow, the different types of grow systems, supplies, basic composting, planting, upkeep of your plants and management, pest management, and then we'll go through summary and some resources, and
Yep.
then we'll take questions after that. Okay. Far as me, I'm Mia She, formerly known as and sometimes still known as Teresa Gully. I have legally changed my name, and it is what it is.
Hey.
So as far as gardening, my experience with gardening, I had my first experience at the age of 12. I was in Detroit, Michigan, and as children, we just running around playing and everything. So one time I ventured off into my grand aunt's shed, and it was nothing in there. It was clean, and it was a shovel. So why did I take this shovel and I just started digging up the whole backyard? I dug up the everywhere it was dirt. I dug it up.
What?
Don't ask me why. I don't know.
You were just there.
And my granddad was down the street. He lived down the street, so he came and he seen it, and he was like, "You need to put some plants out here." And so he started showing me how to soak some of my seeds and then plant them in the ground, and told me I had to either get up early in the morning or wait to evening to water my plants. So I planted those seeds and got up early before school and watered them, no complaints. And I just had so much stuff growing. And I was so excited that I asked the neighbor. Had a neighbor, he was blind, and I was like, "Can I use your backyard, Mr. Bell?" And so he let me use it. So I dug up his backyard too, and I had stuff growing over there. So that was my first experience, and after leaving that area, going to high school, and it just something that I almost forgot about. And until like 2016,
Mhm.
2016, 2017. And that's when I started venturing back into it again, little by little. And have a nice full blown garden in the back, mini farm in the back right now. So I'm here as testimony that it's not hard. So
You said it's not hard? What?
no, it's not hard.
Well,
Not at all. It's all in your mind.
people be saying it's hard because, like, they just don't want to grab a seed and just throw it in the dirt. They like expect it to grow.
No, that's too easy. It got to be more to it than that.
That's what you're gonna break down the science.
Yeah. So here we go. Uh, okay. Why grow your own? Hmm. You want to get fresh food. Um, it saves money. You may not be able to grow everything that you're replace everything that you buy, but it's saving you money in the long run from being sick in certain cases. And say something happens in the winter and you get this thing that you think you got, and you can run out there, get your lemons and stuff, your lemon, your ginger, and make you a little tea, and you be good to go in a few days. You know what I'm saying? So uh and it's also it's physically healthy. I mean, I can tell you that I've been out there for hours and I've sweated more than just walking around the track. So and that's if you have a garden outside. And then your mental health is relaxing for your mind and soothing. It's just um it just feels you have a connection, with the plant
Mhm.
and the environment. So as you plant more, you become more self-sufficient on sustaining yourself and your family. through the things that you grow. And then, like I said, have a positive impact on the environment, revitalizing the earth, giving back to the earth, healing the earth. And the last but not least is you know exactly what you're eating because you grew it. Um,
Ooh, I think you lost people there.
where you go with that? Okay. um, and let's see. We go on to the next slide. Now, planning, as far as planning, you want to have an idea of where you're going to plant. Do you have space inside? Do you have space outside? Are you in an apartment? You only have a balcony? Um, what kind of items are you do you wish to grow? You know, and is there adequate sunlight?
Mm,
So you have plants that are for fall, you have plants for every season. So you have to know which season your plant is good to grow in. So, and you can get that, you can Google that. There's plenty of YouTube videos, and you'll always find some say, just type in what to plant in November in Texas or whatever state you're in. So some things we can plant here in Texas that you may not be able to plant in your area location. You have to plant it when it's really warm outside or when it cools off or either one. So let's see.
Well, we sorry to interrupt, Sister Leah. We had a question in the chat. They're like, is there a type of soil to help grow food faster? That's number one. And then, what about growing food on the road for truck drivers? Uh-oh.
Growing food on the road,
Mm-hmm.
if
For
you're
truck.
a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we kind of ahead. The soil is coming up. As far as on the road, as a truck driver, you saying how can you grow?
Yeah, I think they're saying, and this is just again, they said what, like, how can you grow food on the road for truck drivers? Like, meaning that's literally their job is they're on the road and they want
So
to be
if
able
you're,
to grow
are
food.
you talking about taking the plants with you on the truck?
You know.
You know, I'm not sure. You know, if you got somebody, if you have somebody at home, if you go home every so often, you can have someone go and you know, look after your plants
Mm-hmm.
maybe a couple times a week, 2 or 3 times a week, depending on what they are. And if you have a it's just it takes a little more work, especially if you have a large amount of stuff that you're farming. And because they're going to have to be watered, you could set up a watering irrigation system and time it to water every so often. You can do that. Um, but on a truck, I don't know if it's like hot, if there's an area in your cab where you can like put the plants behind you, or in the back of the truck there's a section that you could section off. I'm not sure. You know, it just depends on the temperature. And you know, plants do need sunlight. even even the ones that grow in the winter, they need that light. They may not need that full sun, but they need some type of light.
Mm-hmm.
So you can set up a system in your home and put it on a timer if you have like a grow tent or something like that. And I can show you that later.
They made a comment saying they thought about having the plant on the dash.
On a dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it could probably grow there or it could die because you know that sun is gonna be magnified by that the that glass that's
Mm-hmm.
there. And
Mm-hmm.
you know how when you drive and that sun be burning your left arm or the left side of your face or the right side of your face.
Yes.
So, you know, that plant is even getting magnified So think about, when you were younger, you used to use that magnifying glass and burn the worms.
Burn the ants and stuff. Yeah, I remember that.
Ah, okay. Next slide. Okay. Your growing system, you could have a container garden, which is basically just your plants are in containers,
Mhm.
and you're going to use small containers, medium, small, medium, large. It just depends on what you're growing and the root system. If the root system runs deep, you're going to need a larger container to hold them. Um, you can decide if you're going to use a raised bed. So I would say start with a 4x4 before the 4x8, because you have that small area, and just see what you can grow in that area. Start small so you're not overwhelmed. And let me see the grow tents. There are grow tents, grow towers, um, mini greenhouse, and I got some pictures in on the next slide to show. And then you have shells with grow lights. So like in my shed, we changed one side of it and closed it off and put the insulation in there. That insulation that looks like aluminum foil. I don't know. But it has that silver on there and it shines, and we just did the whole inside of that room, and then we put the shelving in there with some grow lights. And in the beginning I didn't really have grow lights. I had them old long bulbs
Mhm.
that I forget what they call them, but I had those in the plants. I would put my plants in there when the weather got cold,
Yeah.
and it kept them alive, So, and then I graduated to having the grow lights, and then the shelving, and then like a humidifier, of
Mhm.
air conditioner in the window, and that type of thing to monitor or regulate the temperature in that room. So um, in the winter, I could grow lettuce in there, or you can grow lettuce in your home, inside your house. And then here, the last thing is be aware that hydroponic towers can be costly to your electric bill. So I don't know
How much
if
costly? How
any.
much costly we talking about?
Well, my niece had one, the tall white one that has the little parts that stick out of it, that look like a can attached to the tower.
Mhm.
And she said her bill was $600.
$600.
$600. So because I brought her something to plant, and she was like, "Girl,"
Damn.
she said, "You gonna have to show me how to do that, because no, it was $600." So they had to turn it off.
God.
Yeah, that's a lot. Um, so that's not saving dollars planting.
No, it's costing you
No,
more.
right. Okay, so okay, next. And then here we have what do you plan to grow? So, like I said, if you look at type it in and say, okay, what to plant in what's this month? November. What to
Mhm.
plant in November. And then there are things like radishes, beets, uh, lettuces,
Kales, arugula.
kales, the harder, I don't want to say harder, but they're sturdier. They have sturdier leaves.
Yeah.
And the people who eat brassicas, like the cauliflower, cabbage,
Mhm.
broccoli, those
Gar-
type of things. Um, and I believe once they get so, they grow so where they start having the plants on them, they, even if it's a frost, they'll still survive. Um, and so lettuces and herbs, and they'll probably be easier to grow inside. Uh, they're easier to grow inside the house. And then those grow tents. As you can see here, there's some red lettuces.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how big, if y'all can see that screen. But at the bottom, on the bottom, you'll see some of the red lettuces, and at the top, you'll see more of the like the onions and things like that. And then one of the things you want to make sure is that you don't plant something that you know you're not gonna eat, or you know you don't like it, because you're not gonna take as much time with it, and you know it's like a child that you caring for. You got to take care of it, or it won't grow.
That's true.
Um, and then I suggest that you don't go over 4 different plants when you first starting out, and that way you're not overwhelmed.
Oh, I see. Uh, uh,
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. We got another question.
Hmm.
Can fruit be grown in the house? If so, what type of fruit?
Um,
What you think about like
I
raspberries?
haven't grown any fruit in a house, and I believe most of the fruiting plants you would more than likely have to. They need that sun, and
Mm-hmm.
then it depends on what type of fruit it is. You have a chill, what's called a chilled hours. That's how many hours it needs to be in the cold, outside cold, like when it gets 30, 40, that those type of degrees, they'll have chill hours. So if they don't get those hours, then in the spring and stuff, they won't, they might get leaves and stuff like that, but they're not going to produce the plants. They're not going to produce the fruit. So they have to get the specified chill hours. And that's one you could probably keep it in the house during well, I wouldn't say, would say like when it gets like below freezing.
Below 30 degrees.
And then I would bring it in the house. But here in Texas, I think the most we had lately has been 3 days in a row below freezing. So then I would take it back outside after that, after the freeze period is over. And a lot of times, what I do, I wrap my plants. I, I've been through that stage of pulling them in, pulling them out, pulling them in, taking them in the greenhouse, take them in the shed. So it got to be a lot because I had a lot of my inventory was growing and growing. So,
Right.
and you may be the only one that's interested in your plants. So you might be the only one out there pulling that stuff in and out. So um, I would wrap them in blankets from like the thrift store. I would just go get a blanket, and then like at those picnic uh table covers, they kind of soft on one side, and then
Mm-hmm.
they have that coating on the outside. It's kind of like water resistant. I
Mm-hmm.
would wrap that on top of the blanket, so if it rains or whatever, the blanket doesn't get wet.
Right.
So it's things like that used to protect your plants in the winter when it's like, and I usually don't wrap them until it gets like 40, 40 or something like that. And then if I look and see that the temperature is going to drop in the next few days, I'm out there wrapping them all the way up. So
That's true.
um that's the way, if I want that plant, and I've lost a lot of plants, not not being or half wrapping them, or not getting out there thinking, okay, ain't nothing gonna happen, and next thing I know, they done froze and died through the center. So they'll freeze and it kill the center of the plant, and it just dies off. And so you have to start all over in those cases. And that's why I said, you got to treat them like your children. When it get cold, you gonna bundle them up.
Right.
um, okay.
And I think the other thing too that I want you to talk about too is that what if like you started a plant indoor and then you brought it outdoor?
If you start a plant inside and you want to take it out, maybe sit it on the balcony outside on the deck, put it in the ground. You have to gradually acclimatize
Mhm.
or get it used to the temperature outside. Um, so you take it out maybe a few hours at a time each day, and then lengthen it, after a while until you gradually put in there. Because if you just go out there, stick it in the ground, it's going to be shocked,
Right.
and it may not survive.
Most likely will not.
And when it's weak, and that's when the insects will attack it because it knows when that plant is weak.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things that you have to be mindful of. Say, because I start some of my plants in January, February, and then I'm ready to put them out. But you got to wait till that last frost is over. And if you don't know when your last frost is, Google is your friend. When is the last frost in Arlington, Texas? And then it'll tell you. So you kind of gauge like a week or two before and after that date, and before you put your plants out, fully out. So you can acclimatize them up until then, but make sure you don't put them in the ground or just leave them out there until after that uh, frost date, a couple weeks after. And if you have a greenhouse, you have to make sure is the air flows through there also, because um, when it gets warm out there, like I said, that magnifying, the sun magnifies and it magnifies against that plastic also, and it'll overheat the plants that's in there. Even when it's, in my case, it's happened in 40-degree weather, and it's like extremely hot, like when in the midday,
Mhm.
like 70 or something, and don't let it be 50 because it's going to be 100 in there.
Uh-huh.
So, you have to open the door, the windows, or whatever you need to do to get that air in there. I don't have a fan in mind, but that's what I do. I open the door, I unroll the sides, and I just have the like the blankets up against on the on the wall that help keep the insulation in. You know how they had them old drapes, heavy drapes on the windows. So I have like heavy blankets on the sides to keep it warm. So it gets extra warm in there when the sun is beaming. But when it's cold, it'll be about, it'll keep it above freezing so the plants don't freeze.
Mhm.
Okay, and then here are some uh pictures of supplies. You don't need all this stuff at once, so don't get be nervous. And you got your gardening gloves if you feel like you need gloves.
Right.
In some cases, when you're outside, you do need gloves because I ain't for the bugs. And I can make that fresh soil without no gloves, but once I get out there in that dirt, that's another thing out there in the ground. Now, I don't know if y'all can they see my mouse? No.
No.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just go through some of the stuff. Like, okay, for inside, I recommend that small pitcher on the left because it's easier to water your plants than using a bigger one with all the holes in it. And then you have the spray bottles that you're gonna put your water in, and any mixtures that you need for bugs. Then you have a small set of shears. And then your name, the labels, the small flower pots, and then make sure your pots have the plates underneath them. In any pot you have, if you buy, usually when you buy those pots at the store, they don't have holes in them. You have to put the holes in them because you would plant your plant and you'd be all, yeah. And then next thing you know, your plant dying. And you don't know why.
Mhm.
It's because the water is not draining. It's not draining out. So make sure you have the holes in the bottom of there. And then in the center, you have right under the word supplies, that is a more or less a growing area that, like I said, we had in the shed with the insulation around. You could also have this in your house. If you have an area that stays warm, that you keep warm, and then you have the grow lights. There's grow lights under each shelf on this. And
Mm-hmm.
let me see. There's a certain type of grow light, and you don't have to get real expensive. There are cheaper versions, cheaper ones. You just have to look at the check out some of the videos, the YouTube videos, and see the best grow lights. And you'll see people that use the floodlight or whatever, and they still have the same result. And fluorescent light, that was that long, skinny bulb. Um, so, and then over to the right from that, just below it, that black, you see that black box? That's a grow tent. And it has like a fan in there, and I see the light, the grow light in there, and then you see that plant. That plant that's in there is a much taller plant, so it sits on the ground and it has tomatoes in it. I haven't grown tomatoes inside yet, and I know tomatoes are finicky as far as sunlight. They
Mm-hmm.
don't like a lot of sun. They're not going to produce if it's too hot, but if they have that sunlight, they'll grow. So you may want to, if you want to do inside, you may want to attempt to do the cherry tomatoes. Um, and you can test out the aromas and see if they'll grow. And it's all a test also. Growing is you're a scientist, you're a plant scientist. So you're testing things and seeing how they work out. And then you have down here the solo cups where you could put one cup inside of the other. That top cup is going to have a hole in the bottom of it. And
Mm-hmm.
then when you want to water it, you just put your water in the bottom cup. Take that cup out, put your water in the bottom cup, and it feeds through there. And I like to use the clear cup for put my soil in that way. Because what I learned, they call it a peekaboo cup. You can look in there and see the roots.
Right.
So then you have your above that you have your trays where you can seedling trays where you can put your soil in there and plant one seed in each one or two seeds. And then under that grow tent you have I believe that's hydroponic, but it's a small like a small version. And
That looks like it.
I almost purchased one. And the only thing I didn't like was that they were saying that you can't use all the holes in it. You have to use like every other hole, because when your plant grows big, it's going to push out that other plant. So, there's not enough room. So, in this one right here is probably using every other hole. And then here we go with the flower pots, various sizes. Then the green ones. Then you have that laundry basket. I've used those outside. I still have some out there that I have planted trees in. You can also use one and plant a variety of items in that one pot, in that one basket. But you want to make sure you drill your holes in the bottom for the water to release out. And you see those dollar store planters up there at the top. Those you get like 12 for $1 from Dollar Tree, and those work nicely. Or if you have those the similar to Dollar Tree stores, the everything is a little bit over $1. They have them
Mm-hmm.
there too. And then here's your grow tower that doesn't have, it's not no electricity, doesn't run in or whatever. And a lot of people grow herbs and those type of things. And then in the bottom right corner, you have a raised bed, and it has the cardboard at the bottom. Ignore that black stuff because that was taken out. So you will have your cardboard at the bottom. That's just showing you the start of the raised bed, which we're gonna get into in the next slide. I think the next slide. So
Hold on, we got a question for you,
any
Sister Mia.
questions? Okay.
With the plastic cups, would it cause mold to grow around the plant? Question mark.
I haven't had that problem. And the mold, I've had mold problems with certain types of soil. Like that one, is it called Speedy Jiffy? It's called Jiffy something.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime, because that was always the cheap soil at Walmart. And it would be like they always have it on sale. It'd be like $2 a bag, and the outside of the bag be discolored from the sun, burning the stuff off of it, the words and all that. And so what I learned is that when you use that soil, you put it in a container, and then you boil water, and you boil that water and you put it in that soil.
Mm-hmm.
And I add a little neem oil to mine, but it's killing all those little bugs that be in there, because it's always got something in it, and it molds. It'll mold and stuff. So back when I was using that, money was tight. That's what I was using. And you do what you have to do, when you're trying to grow.
I know that's right.
Yeah, so mold, and that could be come from too much moisture,
Mhm.
and you watering it too much, or you putting too much water in it. So give it time to let the water, give it time to dry out some. When you touch it, it's sort of like touching, you know how you put that toothpick in the cake. You put your finger in the soil and you can feel if it's moist. It may be dry on the top, but when you put your finger in there, it's moist. It's not moist where it's runny water. It's just moist, like
Right.
that moist cake, a little bit wetter than that. No. Okay.
And I think you're going to answer this next question soon, but he's asking, what's good soil do you recommend?
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
Here we
next slide, brother.
go. The good stuff.
Right.
Okay. So healthy soil is important. And once you mix this soil, you can use it for your small containers. You can use it for large containers in the house, and outside the house. Um, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your potting soil, and that one in the middle, the compressed pack, that's the one that I really like the best. This one is organic, and sometimes you'll go and you don't see, they'll have the red pack, but not this one.
Hmm.
So if I'm desperate, I grab the red one, and yeah, I just do what I do, and then you know, you add in, determine how much soil you want. So whatever amount of soil that you get, you want to put about 1/3 the same amount of the perlite, which is at the top left. And it's what the perlite does is allow it to drain better,
Hmm.
and it kind of keeps the soil loose. um, and then you're going to add worm castings, which is, it's not necessary, but it's not, since your plant and your soil is not coming out of the ground. I use the earthworm castings, and what that is worm poop. So that's the only poop I use. Nothing else. So I use the worm castings, and then mix that, and I'll put maybe, I don't know how to measure the azomite. I just put some in a little cup and shake some in there, and it should have directions on the container, and that's what's on the right. That Ago Wind, they sell They sell the azomite. You can get azomite. Azomite is the a rock dust, and rock dust is one of the things that, excuse me, one of the things that remineralizes the earth. So
Mm-hmm.
they talk about in Greenland where the areas where the water dried up, the water receded, and you see the earth with all them cracks in it and all this and that. And then those areas they rub together and break down into smaller pieces, and then the greenery starts to grow up. And they say that's some of the most fertile land out there in Greenland. And then also when in areas that have volcanoes, when that volcano is it ash
Yeah,
volcano comes
volcanic
down
island.
and burns everything, the ash that's left over is powerful for and helps your plants in your garden. So and when those, and if you ever seen an area where the grass is caught fire, I know here in Texas, the grass will catch fire just from the
Mhm.
sun, and you go back later, it's nice and green and plush. It just grows back. You know, Mother Nature,
Right.
nice and green. So that rock dust has so many minerals in it, and they'll list the minerals on there. On the It's a lot of them in there, and then I just sprinkle that in there. I don't like the kind that's like pellets or whatever. I like it ground.
Mhm.
So and you can also probably find that at your neighborhood, your local nursery. And the compress pack I've gotten at, I've only seen that at Walmart. I've only,
Yeah.
that I think about it, I've only seen that at Walmart. And then a perlite, don't get what is that? Miracle Grow. Don't get the Miracle
Woo.
Grow
Stay away from
perlite
that.
that
Stay
you
away
see at Home Depot and Lowe's. Go to your local nursery or order it online. And
Mhm.
it'll last you a long time. Or if you know somebody that has some, ask them for some. Because if you growing small, you don't need that much.
Yeah.
Um, and then that's it for you just mix that together. You want to wear a mask because the azomite is really fine. The particles are really fine, and you don't want to get it into your
Your
breathe
lungs.
it into your system.
Mhm.
Um, so you're gonna wet your soil and mix it, and then you're gonna mix it, but it's not gonna be muddy wet. It's gonna be a thick consistency, but not, you don't
Too.
want water just like dripping off of it when you pick some of the soil up. You don't want to be able to squeeze water out of it. You squeeze it and it's moist, and you open it like you um trying to analogies. I just keep thinking about cake.
Yeah, it
But
just needs to be
you
moist.
squeeze it and open it, and it's just like it's wet, but it's not dripping wet. That's how wet you want it to be.
Right.
So, and then you can take that and put it in your container, whatever container you're using, and go from there. You put your seed in there and cover it with a little bit of soil.
Mhm.
Now, as far as the raised bed, if you're using a raised bed and some of your larger containers, you want to fill the bottom. You can put, strips of cardboard, or take a paper bag and tear it up, rip it up, put it in the bottom, and then add a little bit of mulch, just a filler as a filler in the bottom of that, so you don't have to put soil,
So much.
or fill up the whole thing with soil, because those containers can be kind of big, and
Mhm.
and then they get heavy if you have to move them or something. And
Mhm.
but as far as your raised bed, you're going to put the cardboard or newspaper along the bottom, sit your raised bed on top of it, or just stick the newspaper in the raised bed and the cardboard. You can double layer it. What you're doing is the weeds, so the weeds can't come up through there, and then the worms and stuff are gonna eat that. So
Mhm.
when you let me see, put your cardboard down. You're gonna put like 2 to 3 inches of mulch. If you have a one, if your raised bed is only one piece of wood high, then you're not going to use as much mulch. But you're going to put these same things down, but you're not going to use 3 inches. You may use 1 to 2 inches. And then you're going to top that with some compost. Compost is your soil that has the broken down uh, food scraps, the leaves, the grass clippings, that, and it's you don't have to use worm castings because it's been in the ground or it's been in a bin that the worms are in, and they're making their own earthworm, their own castings, which is in it. So you're gonna layer it with that compost, and then you're gonna put your garden soil down. Garden soil, you can also use that pro mix that's there. You could use if you use peat moss, I would suggest only using a little of it because it does retain moisture. And this compressed pack has peat moss in it, so it's like a good mixture already. And you want to put, just sprinkle, take your cup and just sprinkle your azomite across the top of the soil. Just sprinkle it like you putting sugar on top of the powdered sugar on donut or whatever. And then ah, and then you're gonna top that with before you put the mulch on there, the next layer of mulch, you're gonna mix it slightly. Don't dig all the way down into the layer of compost, but mix that top layer with that azomite, and then you're gonna put your layer of mulch on top of that, and that's your raised bed. And if you're not ready to plant yet, you just leave that like it is. And what that top layer of mulch does, it keeps the moisture in. Like you, so you might have soil that's so hard or whatever, it's gonna soften up once you put that. You got to put that layer on there. It's like having, it's like having a bald head and the sun just beaming down on your head. You got to have something on your head to like
To
protect
protect
it.
it.
So just think about the earth not having no grass. If no grass is there and no hay or no nothing covering it, that's when it's dry, and then it gets to the point where the water just rolls off of it. It don't even like penetrate. So it's easy to get that back to where it needs to be. And you can use this step like what it said for the raised bed. You can basically cover area with cardboard and wet it, and just put some mulch over the top of that, wet it, use that method to uh revitalize that part of the soil, the ground. And if you don't use a raised bed and you just use the ground, just make sure you put like have something to stop the everything from like running over, spilling out. Because you're gonna have layers and layers going up. So what's there to keep it from spilling over into another area or whatever? But if you don't care, that's fine. If you got that type of area, then that's
Right.
fine too. And then if you use hay, you want to make sure you have the no weed hay that doesn't have seeds in it, because you'll get hay, and then every time you turn around, you pulling up grass, little pieces of grass that's growing. I've been there. So any questions on this part?
No, and then I think do you recommend any like compost devices that basically take waste and basically grind it up
Um,
and keep the smell from going out?
Now compost, I've I try to find a picture of my compost. I don't know where my stuff at, but here we get into composting. And in your compost, you want to make sure you got the soil. You want to add carbon. Your carbon is your brown and dead things like the dried leaves, dead grass,
Mm-hmm.
um, Brown, you can use the paper bags. If you got brown paper bags, just tear them up, put them in there. You tearing them up so the worms can, you know, break them down easier. And then
Yep.
you have your food scraps. Okay, I don't put cooked food in there. The
Mm-mm.
only thing I've put in there is tea leaves that I steep my tea. I would throw those leaves in there, and they have been broken down and disappeared. So I guess that's fine for them. But like watermelon rinds, orange peels, all that good stuff, and
Mm-mm.
I just take them and put them in that compost. Put the leaves in there. I always try to put some of carbon, nitrogen, which is the peelings. Like I always break. I like when I buy lettuce, I peel off the rotten parts, and instead of me throwing them away, I put them in the compost
Mm-hmm.
and I break them down. You break them down, then the worms and the uh, whatever the fungus or whatever is in there, they're gonna eat it, and they'll do it quicker the more broken down they are. So you can use a bin like here. You see this tub? I had a tub, but it has a top on it, a tote with a top. So I may fill it halfway with everything, and then I mix it up and I put a little water in there. Not a lot of water, just water enough to moisten it, not dripping wet, the water spilling out the holes. And you want to make sure you got holes all around the whole thing, in the on all four sides, in the top and underneath. Don't ask me how, but you sit this on the ground, the worms gonna be in it.
Mm-hmm. Immediately.
They will be in it. I don't know how they get in there, where they came from, but they will be in there. Um,
Oh.
so you turn it maybe every 2 to 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Turn it. So if your compost starts stinking, that means you have too much water in it. It's too much water in it, or too much food in it, too much scraps. So what you can do is add more soil and more carbon and mix it in, and don't add any water. Just mix it in, and that stench will go away.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had them in that backyard forever, and no problems with the smell. Um, and then the green bin on there, that's a composter. So you can, I don't have any to recommend, but there are composters out there. There's one that you could turn with your hand, and it like the that money bin that you spin it and you stick your hand in there and get out the whatever.
Mm-mm.
They got compost bins like that. Now they got electric compost bins that you can have in your kitchen. The last one I seen was like $300, but I'm good with the dirt. I'm good. I ain't, a $5 tote, that you get from after Christmas sale or after Halloween or whatever.
Right, right, right.
That tote and put them holes in there, drill them holes in there with your little drill bit, and just go to town. And that's one of the things when I like, you teaching your child how to use a drill. Hey, teach them
Mm-hmm.
they'll love that. And then where you see up in the top where she's just putting the stuff in the ground, that's what I do now. Um, I just dig a little hole, and then I just put the scraps in there, and I cover them up. And you can also put like shredded paper in there, white, not all the color and the credit card things, just the paper.
Yeah.
Um, and you can put that in there, and it's biodegradable. They'll eat it too. So as far as onions or whatnot, I put them in there every so often, but I have containers that I grow onions in. So I put like my onion scraps in those containers as food. So, and then now I take my citrus scraps and I'll put them in my citrus trees. I dig a hole in there, and I just stick the orange peels in there, lemon peels, key lime, stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. I just stick that in there, and that's food for the plant. You just put it away from the roots. Don't put it like right on top of the roots. Dig
Right.
that hole, put it in there, and cover it back up. Um, let's see what else is on there. The grass clippings, dried leaves. So you don't have if you have a small bin and it's like you have too much food scraps, then you could blend them and pour them in there.
Mm-hmm.
And you could do that. If you have ground area outside, you can dig up and pour it into that, you know. But every I think in like 30 days, if you except in the winter, if you put compost in the ground, it's usually turns to black soil, nice black soil in like 30 days.
Getting
If your
toasty.
pieces are small, yes, it's gold. And one of the other things while I'm on this, so I don't forget, is you hear people talking about fertilizer and this and that. Once in a while, I use fish emulsion, but you can make compost tea. You can have your 5 gallon bucket.
Mm-hmm.
When you let that water leach out, if you're using water out of the tap,
Oh.
out of your hose, and it's not filtered or anything, you
Mm-hmm.
you can fill up a 5 gallon bucket, food grade. Put a handful of that compost in there. Just drop it in the water and cover it up. And in 24 hours, you got some compost tea.
Mm.
And you know you got it because it's gonna be smelling like it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take that and water your plants, fertilize your plants with it. So and small plants don't really need to be fertilized. You have your azomite in there, that's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can that could be too much for them and cost too much. You won't have the seeds won't grow or the plant will grow and then it'll just die off.
Mm-hmm.
And there is such a thing as a bad batch of seeds. So you can get seeds that don't germinate.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you'll see that on the package. You'll say germination rate uh 60%,
50%.
something like that,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So um and then that was just everything I said about the compost. Now this is for your containers, mostly pertaining to your small pots. And you're gonna put your soil in the pot, fill it up about 2/3, and then you're gonna pack it down, but you're not gonna mash it so hard. You're just gonna pack it in, and then you're gonna add a little more soil, and then you're gonna add some water. Oh, you're gonna add water once you pack it down, and then water that part really good. Then you add your seeds. Okay, I think I got two things. Yeah, that's right. I did mess up.
Okay.
You
Hey,
put
hey,
your,
hey,
you
hey.
put your water in there, and then you put your a little more soil in there. So number 5 should be after number 2.
It's all
But
good.
just put a little more soil in there, and then you're gonna put your seeds in there. And the depth of your seeds is dependent on how big the plant is. So, and then it'll tell you on the package how deep to put it. But
Mm-hmm.
I usually just put them like uh if it's lettuce or something like that, I'll put it half of my fingertip right here, half of that first section of my finger.
Yep.
Or you could just sprinkle them on top, sprinkle your lettuce on top, and then cover it barely. Just take some soil and just cover it lightly with
Sprinkling.
soil. And then you're going to take a water bottle and use that to wet it, because if you use the watering can is going to put too much water in there and it's going to move your seeds around.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just going to use a little bit of the water bottle and let it drip over there. And then don't overwater it. You just want it moist and
Yep.
put it in a warm area. You don't
That's
have to buy a heating pad and all that. Put it in a warm area. If you want, you can cover it up with something that'll help keep it warm. And then in about 3 to 4 days, check it every 3 or 4 days to see if they're starting to sprout.
mm-hmm.
Okay. And once they start to sprout, you want to put it in a sunny area. And then they're going to get their sun and they're going to grow more with that sunlight. Just like us, we need that sunlight. um, so with your the other seeds, maybe like I'm trying to think of bigger seeds. They
Uh,
seem small, but like radishes and stuff like that, you put those down, I believe a half an inch to an inch because they grow underground,
yep.
under the soil, under the soil. So, and you got to have a big enough pot. Lettuce doesn't have a deep root, but it has the roots go everywhere.
I do.
So you may need bigger pots for lettuce, but radishes, they grow underground, so they need that space under the soil to expand and grow. Your turnips, your beets, and what's the little red radishes? The
Yep.
radishes, you know, black radishes get pretty big. So depending on your size pot, you may have one radish or two radishes in one pot if it's a small pot. Okay. And then always make sure you reading the labels, and you'll get the hang of it after a while. You'll get the hang of it when the first couple of seeds don't grow and you like, dang, and then you plant some more. You just keep
Keep
on
on going.
keep doing it, because believe me, I restarted that garden like 3 times. And I was frustrated, when stuff wasn't growing or stuff was dying
Mm.
because the weather, or I forgot to check on something and went out there and it was dead because the sun just killed it. Just different things, or the grubs in the ground, the little white bugs that look so disgusting. But anyway, I dig them out now.
Yeah.
When I see them, I just take them out. I put them in a little tub or oil pan, and I sit them out in the sun. I think the birds be coming to get them. That's what I call myself, feeding the birds, because they be gone. So
That's funny.
they be gone. So I put them in those, and I just can't do. Some people be squashing them and all that. I don't have. Mm-mm. I don't need to do all that. It's just nasty. Anyway, anyway, now once your plant gets once it gets so big, you may see that it's not growing anymore. The leaves may be starting to yellow, and you feel like you're watering it enough and you're not overwatering it. It may need to be transplanted to a bigger pot.
Mhm.
And a lot of times, you have to transplant it versus putting that small seedling in a big old pot and then just leaving it in that big pot so it can grow into it. And a lot of times that don't work. You have to transfer it up. It's like, when you had that baby, you don't put him in toddler clothes when he's a newborn, because you're gonna get lost in there.
Right.
Okay. Any
I haven't seen questions, so you good.
okay. Now okay, as far we talked about the raised beds. When you make them layers, this is just pictures of showing you the things that you're going to use: your cardboard or newspaper. Then you're going to follow that with the mulch, then the compost and the kitchen scraps, and then garden soil. um, and then on the top you're going to have, see how the mulch is smaller. Then the one at the top is smaller than the one at the bottom. Those big
Mhm.
pieces on the bottom and mulch is like wood chips. And a straw could be called mulch also. But use the smaller ones on the top. So when it comes time, when you get ready to plant, you have to move that mulch out of the way so you can put your seeds in there and leave it out of the way until your seeds start to grow because they cannot push through that. They can't push up through that mulch. They're going to die. They're just going to be in there and die. So
Mhm.
once your plant starts sprouting and they get about maybe 3 to 4 inches, then you want to go ahead and move that mulch back around each plant. And that mulch helps keep that moisture in the soil. So one of the things you can do while you have those seeds growing is cover it with a insect what is it called? I can't
Repellent,
remember what it's called. Huh?
repellent, the insect repellent.
No, it's a cover.
Oh, the
It's
insect
like
shield.
yeah, it's like a it's on the next page. But it keeps the insects out and allow your plants to grow. And a lot of times you need that with stuff like lettuces, carrots, because them seeds are so little, the little bugs that eat them up. No roly polies, everything that eat your seeds up. So,
Mhm.
and another thing is when you can get some diatomaceous earth
Yep.
and put that on the soil while it's exposed to, something coming down trying to get it. But it's like little crushed fish, sea creatures crushed up. It's a powder, so it's like real sharp. And when the bugs eat it, it's like cuts them and stuff.
It's like glass. They eat glass.
Yeah, yeah. So and then don't forget your labels when you plant something, because I guarantee you, if you're not planting one thing, you're gonna forget what it is.
Exactly.
Okay, let me go to here right quick. To the right, this is the diatomaceous earth at the top.
Hmm.
Diatomaceous earth, I always say diatomaceous. Diatomaceous. There it is, the word diatomaceous earth. Make sure you get the food grade. Um, because you will see some out there kill ants and all kind of bugs, but make sure you get the food grade
Hmm.
that won't kill you.
Right.
Uh, now let me go back. That's
Cause
not
like, cause like, here's the thing. Some of y'all gonna come across things like this, right? Y'all may not
yeah,
remember this
yeah.
quick,
Because
but
I'll be out there like, what the
right. This is the thing
doing
that's
that
gonna
bow
trigger
wow thing? Huh?
the thing. Go ahead. Let me.
So these are some the things I talked to you about how much water to use, but the best water is rainwater. And if you want to collect rainwater, you can use a 5 gallon bucket, food grade. It's in the bottom picture. And then there's another one. There's a barrel. Um, those two barrels that you see, the blue one and the black one. One has a lid, and then the blue one is attached to the gutter system, your gutter system. You can have that. Um, and then later, and then you have a spigot at the bottom, spigot where you can attach a water hose. But remember, the water is not, the water is not gonna come out like if you put a sprayer on the end and you squeeze it, the water is not coming out. So you gotta have a pump on there to make the water just squirt out for you to like water the garden like that. So I use the hose to fill up like my 5 gallon buckets, and then I transport those buckets around. So now I have graduated and I have 5 gallon buckets all over the backyard.
Hey.
So I don't have to carry one bucket everywhere. And I have a couple of rain barrels also. So those blue rain barrels you can look on Facebook marketplace. Somebody's usually selling them for like $20 or something. But make sure you asking, are they food grade? And I believe the ones like the black ones are like, I don't know how much those are. They up there though.
About like
And
what, 1,000?
no, like they might be 50 to 100. The black ones with the cap on it. So I like the food grade buckets. If you have a bakery near you that the icing and stuff, they have those. You can ask them for those buckets. That's a free B right there. Freebie. So you can have them, you could collect water in them, and you could you know, or you can fill it up with water out your tap, let it sit 24 hours to let the bleach leach out, and then you can use it to water your plants. So um that's a couple of things you could do. Let's see. You could get a water filter to put on your outside spigot.
Do you
And when
do you filter your rainwater once you capture? Do you like clean it out because the chemtrails and stuff like that?
because the temperature of it,
No, chemtrails and stuff like that. From them
no.
spraying and stuff.
Mm-mm. I just feel like God put the rainwater out there, and let's just use it because if the trees in the forest still living,
Right.
I think they're gonna be fine.
There you go.
They're gonna be fine. And some people use the copper in their gardens different ways. I haven't tried that yet, and that's supposed to help with the frequency and keeping those negative things out of there. I guess I don't know, but I haven't tried it. So one day.
Do you be singing to your plants?
Say that again.
Do you be singing to your plants?
No, I need to though.
You see them?
You waiting on that?
Do you talk to your plants?
Yeah, sometimes when I go out there and pick my things out, fruit, and I'll be like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I just be saying thank you. And when I pray, I thank God for allowing me to revitalize the earth, and I thank for the bountiful harvest that I receive
Mm.
from the earth. I do that. Yes. And let's see, as your plants grow, so should your pots. Okay. We thought that. Reading the seed packets
Yep.
for the roots. Make sure you have big enough pots, and then make sure you're clipping those dead leaves off when your plant's growing. And then, maybe, I don't know if they grow from the top or the bottom, those older leaves will start turning brown or whatnot. And I usually take those leaves and stick them in the soil. When I cut them off, I just stick them under nutrients. Hey.
Right.
So, all right. And then pest management. Some of the things you could do, you could use the yellow sticky card,
Mm-hmm.
and you can buy those. They'll have them on Amazon, and you can get a load of them. And then just hang them up or whatever. I got a little hole puncher from the dollar store. Punch a hole in it, and you can tie it with some string. Kind of. If you got some yarn, whatever, you can tie them up with that. Twist ties.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to the grocery store and them twist ties be up there, and you grab a whole handful or whatever and take them home with you. So, but in this bottle at the top, that's neem oil. You want to get 100% neem oil. You mix that with some hot water, and it dissolves easier. And sometimes I'll put like orange oil in it
Mm-hmm.
and shake that up, and I'll spray my trees. That's one of the things. I spray my trees 2 to 3 times a year, especially when it's getting ready to go into dormancy. for the winter, and then when it's coming out into spring, because those there are pests that get into your trees and cause rot or some kind of disease in your trees, and they just live in the bark or whatnot. So I spray that neem oil on there faithfully, and then you'll know if you spray it on any leaves of your plant don't like it. You can tell. So you'll see like the leaves got like spots on it or something like that, and you like, okay, let me switch to this other stuff. And that's the solution that I use: the almond oil, peppermint, lemongrass. Um, I just put like the same amount in a small little bottle, a dropper bottle. I'll put
Mm-hmm.
the same amount of peppermint oil. The almond oil, I'll put more in it to make it stretch, like to make it more. And then the lemongrass oil, and what's another one? Lavender. The lavender oil, I'll put them in there, shake it up, and then I'll take the dropper and
Mm-hmm.
squeeze 20 to 40 drops in a spray bottle, regular size spray bottle, and put distilled water in there, fill it up, and then I'll spray my plant leaves with that. If if I have pests, um, and that usually take care of that. And this is the weed barrier. That's what's called insect barrier
Mm,
down in the bottom left.
yeah.
So you see that the white thing, the sun, where the sun still gets through it to you know, uh provide sun for the plant, and then water still gets through it if it rains. And that's what you want to put over your plants if you're planting directly in the ground or in a raised bed, and you don't have the mulch to protect your plant.
Mhm.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Go back to that slide. I know this may seem as a joke, but this is a serious matter. So, Sister Mia, how can we get more creatures like this to go and pollinate our plants versus getting these creatures?
Well, they all good. They're all good. The grasshoppers are good. I think they only get mad when they don't have no food, but um they I'm finding out they eat leaves too. So I didn't know grasshoppers eat leaves, but
Yeah.
um the ladybugs, and let me see, you have to plant flowers or things that they like, and that'll attract them to your area.
Bingo.
So one of the things that you could do is go to like Walmart, go in the bird section
Hmm.
when they have that mixture of seeds,
Hmm.
and just throw them out in the yard. Throw them out there, and they'll plants will just grow. All kind of flowers, sunflowers, everything, especially sunflowers. I had so many sunflowers out there, and I'm not expecting to pick them because I don't want to, but the sunflowers will grow, and they'll attract bees and wasp. They'll attract
Hmm.
those, and then those are pollinators. And then when you have a lot of aphids, the aphids are those little bugs. How do I describe them? I don't know how to describe them, but they're little bugs that get on your plants, and the ants like the aphid poop.
Which
So
is what?
ants will attack they will attack the ladybugs. So because the ladybugs eat the aphids, they'll attack the ladybugs so they can eat the aphid poop. So you gotta do all this work. Oh my God. So lace wings can eat way more aphids than ladybugs can. Because I think they can eat like 1,000 a day. The ladybugs can eat like 50. So when I had a problem with my plum tree, they was all over there. I kept water hosing it down, and I come back the next day and it'd be two or three. Then the next day it'd be so many more. So I had to keep watering it down. But I looked it up, and I went and bought some ladybugs and some lacewing, whatever it is, lacewing something, and put them in that tree.
Hmm.
And the first time I did it, I messed up because I They was the lace wings was eggs, and
Oof, Lord have
I
mercy.
set it down, and the bugs ate it.
Mm-hmm.
Eggs before they could hatch. So I had to go pay again. Like, this time I waited, and then I put them out there, and yeah, they went to work. And it was ladybugs everywhere. They was mating. They was making more ladybugs, and the lace wings. They did it. They ate all them aphids, but I waited too late. So my tree was
Damaged.
like really?
You waited till now.
But it's all green now. I don't have no plums on it, but I did get like 7 plums off of it before the infestation. But it's good to go. It's still alive. And yeah, just things like that. You just have to look up stuff. You'll see people that, yeah, get this insecticide, get this, get that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't use all that. And then I just finally found something. You type something in, like I guess it depends on what you type in too. And you say something like uh animal, what is it? Insect, beneficial insects.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
beneficial insects that eat aphids or control aphids or something like that. And
Mm-hmm.
then you'll see all kind of stuff. There's a lot of people out there that do stuff holistically, without the pesticides and all that other stuff.
Yep.
So I don't know what to tell y'all about them ants though, but I be I be using that diabaceous earth. I be putting it out there, but and then there was something somebody on I saw today where he said take some Vaseline and rub it around your trunk of your tree, and they can't climb past that. The ant. So I'm like, I might have to try that. Petroleum gut jelly is good for something.
God, dog.
Yeah, so I might have to try that one. And then so don't just chop your tree down because you may not need to.
Mm-hmm.
Um but did I answer your question? Because I forgot what you asked me.
You did. You did. You did.
Okay. We almost done. Okay. So that was it. Okay, we is almost done. Okay. Whew, y'all just don't know how nervous I
Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. You're doing
was.
great. You're doing great.
So, this is a summary. Gardening is easy. Start small. Use what you have and grow what you love.
Yep.
It's a journey, not a race. Your plants are like children. Give them attention, and they will grow. Um, in what I was gonna say. Oh, I'm gonna get to that in the next slide. So these are some little pictures that kind of accent what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Little kids in the garden,
Mm-hmm.
father and son, grandmother, grandchild. Hey, these AI generated. Hey, I'm
Hey,
learning about
you a trip.
and this passion fruit that's from my garden. They all the flowers grew and that was it. Cause I don't know what happened. I think some birds or something came in and just snatched all them suckers off of there. They was gone.
Dog.
So I'm like, okay, y'all gotta eat too, I guess.
So, right.
But here's some resources where I get seeds from. And it's certain seeds that I get from certain ones. It just depends. Um, the the Desdi Mi Hereto or something where I say select English. I believe that's Puerto Rico. And I ordered my culantro from there. I couldn't find them seeds nowhere.
Mm.
But that's a it's American, I guess American part of the United States, Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
And so they allow them to sell, they don't allow them to sell everything, but those they had some things there. And
Also,
then Homestead Heart and easily grown garden. Those are a couple of the YouTubers that I watch. And you'll see that some of the YouTubers, when they grow their stuff, you can watch them, and if you agree with how they growing or whatever, you may want to order some of their seeds, which are, you know, I trust them more than some of the other companies. Put it that way. Put it that way. So, and then they give you a lot of good information if you decide to do a little more on a larger level, you
Yep.
know. But like I said, start small.
And
And
some of the companies will give you like just samples, right? Like rare seeds, they'll give you some samples.
yeah, they'll throw a sample in there. Yeah.
Hmm.
And sometimes I have to look it up, like, what is this? So it'd be something I never heard of.
Right.
Okay, and then purchase soil products from Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Tractor Supply, your local nursery. Yeah. You'll as you start buying this stuff, you'll see what you like and what you don't like and have a preference for as far as the soil and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And these are budget hacks if you don't feel like you have a lot of money and you want to start with almost little to nothing. So you can't have no excuses that you don't have no money.
Oh, what? You eliminating that excuse? Come on.
Y'all done seen, y'all know y'all got them solo cups. So you can plant in those. You could take some scissors. You don't need the shears to clip leaves. You can take a pair of scissors, wash them off, put some alcohol on them and clip those leaves off. Um, and then your soil. If you have an area in your yard that you're able to dig up, you know, just use what you got, you know, until you can get what you need. um, and then you got Facebook Marketplace. You can find all kind of stuff on there. Some people give away stuff. As long as you just come and get it.
Pick it up.
Mhm. Uh, you can use empty water bottles, empty jugs, water jugs. Um, y'all out there drinking milk jugs. Uh, make sure you put your holes in them. You can and then you can look on YouTube. Oh my God, there's so many people that's resourceful and how they use these things to grow plants and stuff. So even the 5-gallon buckets, you can grow plants in those. And just make sure you put your holes in the bottom.
So
Make sure you put your holes in it.
to
And
drink.
then you can get the oil pans from the dollar store, and you could put that under your container. So that way, if it drains out, it drains into that pan. Like if you're gonna be away, sometimes you could put water in that, and then your plant gonna live off that water till you get back. A weekend is good enough, you know. Use cheap soil. You can use cheap soil and build it up. I don't use anything with manure in it. Nothing. Because I just don't. I feel like a lot of people say chicken manure, rabbit manure.
Oof.
I just feel like my manure that came out of my body is waste. So why wouldn't their manure be waste? And I don't want to eat it.
Ugh.
So
Ugh.
some people want to eat it, that's fine, but I don't. And then my plants been growing fairly well
Right, right.
without the boo boo.
Not the boo boo.
So it's up to you. When you build that compost, you got everything in there you need and that azomite.
Hmm.
So, and then when you're doing, I don't know if I said it, but when you build compost in the ground, you don't need to put worm castings in it because you already got worms in the ground. And it's like you put that in there and it's like, hey, you putting boo boo on me.
Right,
Worms in there, like, whose crap is this?
right, right.
So you don't have to, they make their own. And then you can collect seeds from when you buy your organic foods, keep the seeds.
Yep.
When you buy your zucchini, your butternut squash, your the green squash, the kabocha, how what is it called? Kabocha
Kom-
squash,
k-
the ego
Kombucha,
squash.
kombucha squad.
And those squashes keep the seeds, your citrus keep the seeds, your peppers, your bell peppers, your hot peppers, your grilling peppers, keep those seeds, your jalapenos, take them seeds, let them dry out, your tomato seeds, your seedless to not seedless,
Hold up.
um, your cherry tomatoes, your Roma tomatoes, scrape them seeds out the middle and
Let them dry.
put them on a plate or something. And when they dry out, or you could put them in like a strainer and try to rub all that the gel off of the coating of the seed, the gels, their coating,
Mm-hmm.
and when they dry out, you can plant them.
Yep.
And if you want to test it out, throw some seeds out there in your yard. Throw some of them seeds when they get dry. Throw them out there. Cover them up with a little bit of dirt. If you put a um, like 5 or 6 seeds in one spot, put them out there and watch they start growing.
Mm-hmm.
And another trick I found is when you had that compost in the ground, you could put them seeds in that compost. When you start throwing that stuff away, it'd be plants sprouting up out of there. You'd be like, dang, what did I put in here?
Uh-huh.
I just got through digging out some stuff out of my compost and putting it in other parts of the yard. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is. I just like I'm about to see what this gonna grow. So I took it out the compost and put it in, other parts of the yard. So, those are way to grow things. I've grown papaya like that.
Yep.
I haven't had any actual papaya yet, but this year I got a little bitty flower
Hey.
budded. Budded. So hey, I'm on the right track. I just gotta get them to growing sooner.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. If you purchase starter plants from the nursery, okay, like if you buy a plant from the nursery, you put it in the ground or have it in the house, let it let at least one of them go to seed. So what it'll do is it'll stay in there and let it mature and it'll grow like a little flower, like your lettuces and stuff. They'll grow like a flower and then let it dry out. And when you pull that flower off of there, it has these little bitty tiny things, like on the dandelion, and you could pull it and blow it.
Yeah.
Those things that you blow and have seeds on the ends of them. So, like lettuce is like that, but they're just smaller and tighter. So, you let it flower and dry, and then you collect them seeds, and you have lettuce seeds. You can do that with uh, that you can also there's a way you can cut the herbs and put them in water and their roots will grow. I've
Mm-hmm.
done that with rosemary um, in time. So and sometimes you have, depending on the company, your coriander seeds. If
Yeah.
you plant them, you'll have cilantro, yeah, cilantro. So those are things that you don't have to pay extra money, and you can get those things. So those are free plants.
Yep.
And once you grow a plant, if you grow a plant, keep the seeds, because each time you plant that seed, it makes it more adaptable to that environment that it's in. What else is on here?
And it could be like it's really easy to like germinate some of these seeds, like going back to the compost you were saying, like
Yeah.
even like some of the times you're like washing dishes and stuff like that, and you got the residue of like the plants and stuff like that, and then you just put a couple of seeds in that little drainer that's like not, it doesn't have big holes, but it's like it's keeping like some of the waste. You just put
Oh
some
yeah, yeah,
seeds
yeah,
there, and the
yeah,
mugs will just germinate. They'll germinate.
yeah,
So that's an easy way. That's like really quick and dirty.
yeah, yeah. So, and the reason they grow so good in that compost, because you have all the minerals in there. You have
Mhm.
all that good bacteria I don't want to say bacteria, but that good organisms in there.
Yeah, yeah.
And those little peppers, them daggone grilling peppers getting expensive. So, save them daggone seeds.
Say them seeds. There's a lot of them
Save
too.
them seeds and plant them mugs.
Yeah. So
And bell peppers. Them mugs expensive. And then one trick that I wanted to tell y'all about the avocados. Oh my God. You know how many avocado seeds I done try to grow with them sticks, putting them sticks in them?
mm,
Put that seed in the ground, in the soil, in the
yeah.
pot, in the soil, and it will grow faster than any sticks in the water and all that stuff. Put
Mm-hmm.
it put it in the soil. It'll grow. Let's see. And then also with your onions, like bunch onions, that's the little green onions. When you cut off the tops, leave that little bottom piece, and then all them onions, put them in a little container with a little bit of water at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Those roots continue to grow, and you can stick each one of them in some soil and continue to the green strip will come out the top, and you can continue to cut that off, put it in your salad, stir it in, stir fry it in your rice, whatever. You
Mm-hmm.
can continue to use them. And the celery, when you had that bottom of the celery stalk, you peel off them extra pieces after you cut it off, and then put it in a little water, and you'll see the roots start coming out. You can put that in a pot, in a flower pot. So it's many things, and just like the onion, when you cut off the onion, you could put that bottom piece in I'm talking about like a red onion. You could put that bottom piece that has the roots, put
Oh,
that in a little water.
yep.
When you start seeing the roots come out, put it in some soil, and then it'll be so many onions sprouting up from the center of that.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be like the small like scallions. It'll
Yep.
be like the little green onions, but they'll be red.
Yep.
So you can continue to use those also. So same with the garlic. One of those cloves will make a whole bulb of garlic. Just look at just check out some YouTube videos on how to do it. Look at various videos, because sometimes you can look at them things. Some people don't know what they be talking about. It just be on there. I don't know. I mean, but look at several videos, and you'll see the ones that make sense. And then
Yeah.
I have them on that one sheet. I have people that I watch, that the YouTube videos on the YouTube homesteaders. These are people that I watch that
Lead Farmer's really good. I watch
yeah.
his stuff.
Since
Uh,
we get past him talking about everything.
right.
Oh my God.
I'm like, let me fast forward it because you must have
Right, right.
get to the
But
bone.
it's because of him, his old videos with the grapes, while I was growing grapes in tubs. And
Mm,
I learned that from him. But I ended up taking them out because he said they do bust out after a while. The roots bust out of the tub. So I took them out the tub and put them in the ground. They just went crazy. So yeah, grapes. And then you look up grapes, Niagara grapes. If you get any seeded grapes, say those seeds,
save them. They wet.
save them, take a bunch of them. When let them dry out, throw a bunch of them in a pot and see how many
They're great.
come up. Put some of that compost in that pot. Okay, this is the grow zone from USDA, and it tells you what area you in. So certain trees and plants grow in certain areas, so are more hardy in those particular areas. So me, I'm in Arlington, Texas, and my grow zone is A8A.
Yep.
So I think it's the same in Georgia. If you go straight across, I think it's the same out there where Chief is at.
Yep.
But when you get further south, you got 8B, and then 9A. The numbers get higher as you go lower, and then the numbers get lower as you go higher, more colder temps.
Hmm.
So like You got to pay attention when you buying fruit trees, because all fruit trees don't are
Okay.
not, you know, conducive to every area. So I had bought a delicious red and it died on me and I was like, dang. And I looked at it, I'm like, oh, this something just because I ate them in Detroit. They don't mean.
Yeah.
So, I figured that out because it needs like 300 chill hours. And it wasn't, I think it was more than 300. I think it was way more than that. But it wasn't getting that here in Texas.
Too
Cause
damn
no,
hot.
it wasn't gonna be 40 degrees that long
Ah.
for 5, 6, 700 hours. So that's you got to think about those things, or you be wasting your money.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are some things that I experiment with, like the citrus and stuff that grow in the deeper parts of Texas. So I feel like we're getting warmer. So I do look at things that grow in Arizona, things like that, for those deserty. You know how when we had those droughts or whatever, I'll
Yeah.
be looking at things that grow in Arizona and are drought tolerant, and then look at things that are drought tolerant for Texas also. So I look at flowers and things like that, because you plant these flowers and they die real soon because the sun is beaming 100 degrees. Then you
Mm-hmm.
don't have no more pollinators. So you either gonna hand pollinate, which something tomatoes you just gotta tap the flower and it'll pollinate itself. But other things like cucumbers and things like that, you ain't gonna have them bees, but there are ways to hand pollinate those also. YouTube. So and zucchini and things like that. So just keep those things in mind, and that's it on this. Uh, and then it's just a picture of some things like when I first started my garden back up. I had like in that middle slide, that's I think it's thyme in that circle
Mm-hmm.
bowl. And then I don't know what's in that other one to the left, but you got uh I think rosemary back there, thyme,
Yeah.
those leaves. I believe those are grape leaves or cucumbers,
Okay.
something like that. And then you can see I was using the cups and growing. That's how I start my tomatoes. And then I'll put them in the ground. And then in the green cups, you see starters. And with the popsicle sticks, don't buy them. You're gonna go out there in 2 weeks and uh, tap, and it's gonna fall off because
Mm-hmm.
it done deteriorated. And then I got a sour sop in one of those things. You can see them shiny leaves on there. And then you see the onion sprouts
Yep.
over there on the left. The ginger, I grew some ginger,
Mm-hmm.
and you can grow ginger. Ginger doesn't have a long root. The ginger root is what we use. So, you just got to plant it deep enough. So, you just got to make sure it's covered, maybe at least with 2 inches of soil. So you had that ginger in your kitchen, you ain't used it, it's all shriveled up. Get you a bowl and put some water in there and let it sit for about 5 hours, and then plant it in some soil and it'll start growing.
Mm.
So you gotta make sure your pot is big enough though. You gotta make sure your pot is big enough because ginger, you see them pieces wide or whatever. You can do the same thing with turmeric.
Mm-hmm.
And them leaves do get long, so your pot may need to be a little deeper to hold them leaves because they're gonna fall over the stems. They're gonna get so tall, or put some kind of stick in there or something to keep it sturdy. And on the left, I believe those are tomato plants and basil, peppers. And then up in that's some stuff I harvested: jalapenos, hot yellow yellow hot peppers, some of the grilling peppers that I took the seeds and
Hmm.
planted them because I haven't never bought any grilling pepper seeds. I haven't seen that. And then there's the bell pepper in there. So that's just showing, you can do, it's not hard. And on the right, that's a greenhouse. That's a little greenhouse you can't tell, but you see that plastic behind those little plants. And that's in my shed.
I
You
understand.
see the green little green containers at the bottom and then that green shelf,
Yep.
those four shelves, that's a greenhouse. So I had that inside in my shed. Okay. And then any questions?
Let's see. Let's go to the chat. Yeah, I was chatting it up in the chat. He said, let's see, let's pull up this. So I was about an indoor tent. I just need some soil lessons. Yeah, hit up Sister Mia. She'll take care of you on that. And then he said, huge pleasure, sister. We appreciative of you in the
Oh
community.
shoot, you in Texas? All right. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. We come through.
Right.
Let's see. Who else? So F's with Lee Farmer. Yep, he's good. He's a good brother. Um, and then Yogi says, doing great, fam. Of course. Y'all got questions for Sister Mia? I hope you see. Here's the reality, right? I know nobody's worried about it today, but when starts happening and you need to actually know how to grow food,
Hmm.
y'all gonna be banging down Sister Mia's doorstep, and
Oh,
she gonna give you this look,
if I answer the door.
right? Not if I answer that door. Like you should be paying attention. You should have been collecting seeds, bare minimum. Y'all like it's easy to collect seeds. Like it's real easy. Like don't even think about it. Like if you see a seed while you're eating your fruit, like grapefruit, blood
Yeah.
oranges, especially the bell peppers. Like there's a
Yes.
jangle of them seeds.
Yes.
So just put them on a napkin and let them dry out. You know what I mean? Like
You can put them in Ziploc bags. You can go get you some the smaller bags from the Michaels or whatever and put your dried seeds in them and label it.
mhm,
It's you can order little bags from Amazon and label your seeds and keep them. I mean, I just put G for grocery and H for harvested so I know where the seeds came from when I and I put the date that I harvested them or
mhm.
picked them out the grocery. But yeah, dang, it took me 2 hours.
Hey, listen.
What the heck?
Great. You did great. Trust me. You did great. Listen. It's nervous when you're up here, but
Hmm.
so it's a lot of information to even cover to begin with because a lot of
Yes.
people are used to just, oh, let me go to Home Depot, Lowe's, get this nitrogen and soil, and then throw it in the ground and then put some seeds and then watch it grow. But you were busting it down
Hmm.
on actual techniques that most people are not familiar with. Um, so it does take time to go over that stuff.
Yeah. I got one more thing. I got some pictures I just want to show before we get off, if that's okay.
Yeah, yeah, you good.
But I don't know how. I forgot what you told me to do.
Present, and then you go to either share your screen or it's probably going to share your screen. um
Okay, that'll be better.
yeah, so we can
Is it gonna allow me to pick the screen?
mm-hmm.
Okay. Tell me I didn't close it. What the heck? Oh,
Hey,
there it is.
Dr. Dredd said this was an awesome class though. Fire.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's see.
Okay. Um,
Which
what am
one?
I showing myself?
No, 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 no. I'm about to pull it up. This one right here?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, this just showing some stuff. I'm just showing off, showing some
Ah,
stuff. This is
stretch your
like
stuff.
my
Stretch your stuff.
this is the back corner, and it has you see the banana tree in that circle with the bricks around the circle. Then behind that and on the side is two papaya trees
Damn.
that I thought were gonna die. They was in the greenhouse and it got so cold in there.
Yeah.
So I had cut them back and I said, okay, I'm gonna plant them in the ground because I didn't have the heart to throw them out. And that's how big they are.
Woo.
And then that one tree in the front, that's a Mamie, Mamey. And under that, that bush is sage.
Okay. You over here, whole mad scientist. I see them
Yeah.
bell peppers.
Bell peppers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the burdock. Burdock.
Oh, that's what. Hey, Aboriginal doctors, you know that's one of your components.
Remember we was little, we used to stick a bug. It was burdock. Oh my God, there was so much of it in Detroit. And this is like my compost in the ground. So you can see the watermelon chopped up,
Mm-hmm.
look like pieces of some old spinach, lettuce,
Mm-hmm.
and the uh, squash. And there's the shredded paper. And I just cover that up. And right now it just looks like this. And see them little things growing out of there. You see green. I pulled up most of that in yesterday and planted it in the other parts of the garden. This is a fig. You see the
Mm-hmm.
little bitty figs on there. There's another one. That's how it looks right now. Waiting on them to. I think it's a brown turkey fig. That's the first time it ever had figs on it. This is a grape vine. You see the little tiny grapes.
Yeah.
And this is a muscadine. Only grow seeded grapes. This is grapefruit, a grapefruit tree.
Ooh. You
And
don't eat
this how it
that.
look now.
Oh, them things take forever to grow.
Yes, is the one of them just turning pink in like one spot. And these the grilling peppers. You see they changing colors.
Yep, changing the reds. Yeah, yeah.
And that's a harvest. I made a pepper sauce, a hot
Hey.
pepper sauce with all that. So you see the scotch bonnet, jalapeno, the grilling peppers, banana peppers. Then I got a little butternut squash
Uh-huh.
and the two red bell peppers and these green beans. Those all those things came out the back. It came out the backyard.
That's
So you know, that's enough peppers and for a meal, one person at least.
literally.
You could put it with some quinoa. Hey,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
you know.
Shoot.
I don't know what kind of milling that is, but it tastes like honeydew,
Oh, like honeydew melon. Okay.
and it was really small. So I gotta go back and read the label on that. And that's zucchini, uh,
Oh, we got some. Let me.
cucumbers.
While you showing that, I pull up some people. They like great information.
This is a pomegranate tree.
Uh-huh.
So I couldn't get any. I was desperate for pomegranate, and they were so expensive in the store. I forgot. I bought this tree and forgot I threw seeds out in the yard.
Okay.
So now I have like four trees out there, four
Shoot.
pomegranates. the
Jeez.
peach tree, plums. It's the
Mm-hmm.
one that gave us the plums and then got infested.
Ooh.
But it's good now. The black tomato,
Uh-huh.
black beauty tomato. These are lemons. So that's them how they look now. They big
Hey,
as baseball. They like a little baseball.
hey.
So this is oregano
Mhm.
out of control back there. And here's the papaya. You can see the little bitty,
Mm-hmm.
tiny things in there, and I'm like, man, I ain't gonna get none. So at least now I know they grow.
Yeah.
And this is not tropical, so I have to like really protect them this winter, and I'm gonna do my best because I want to see some papayas next year. But this is a rain barrel system. This is the first one that I ever made. I just took that. My husband cut the top out, and I just put that screen on the top and holding it down with some rope. Just tie that rope around there and sitting it at the bottom of the gutter that comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And that mug, I have about two, one, two, three. It's two further down on the other side of the window. Then I have two in the front of in front of this picture. So that's one, two, that's five right there. Then I have two more that ain't set up yet. And that's like, it really helps with that garden, especially when it's drought and it's not raining.
Right.
So
Exactly.
um, they come in handy. And over there next where I got that fence around it, because
Mm-hmm.
cats come in my yard, is lettuces in there. And there's aromas, and that's it.
Nah, that's good
So
stuff.
that's it.
That's good stuff. No, I mean you got people saying great information. Um, they said Tay's secret garden here. I have some seeds I can send you. Okay, yeah. Sister me, how can people get in contact with you?
um, I just send me I'm on Facebook, my regular Facebook, but on Instagram I put a lot of my garden stuff on there.
I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Um,
Put it in the chat.
and it's T Gully 83. Yeah, that's my Instagram. Because a lot of times I try to stay off Facebook because I get distracted for too long.
Too
Yeah,
long. Oh, gotcha. Okay. They also said, I love this video. Thanks for sharing your knowledge.
you're welcome.
Hey, and then Tay Secret Garden salute. What questions y'all got? We got the
Oh yeah, I got
garden.
some questions. Something like soaking. You only have to soak seeds like corn. Um, I would soak my bean seeds. And when you soak your beans before you cook them, you pick out the bad ones.
Mm,
So I did this test. I took the bad ones and I threw them out in the compost, and they grew. They started growing. So hey, you can grow beans if you want to.
mm,
And like the green beans and stuff, like I said, leave a few of them on the vine and let them dry out and save those for your seeds.
yep.
Mhm.
What else, y'all?
That's it.
So I'm gonna flash it again. This is how you get in contact with Sister Mia.
Mhm.
Right here on the screen. Don't be afraid to ask questions, but be sure
Don't, because you gotta ask why you can.
right. You know what I mean?
You're not gonna have no questions till you start planting, and then it's gonna be like, dang, what did she say?
Hmm. So, um, what else, y'all? Trying to see.
The grow tent. Um, I think that's a good investment if you want to grow some bigger things inside your house, or if you get the tent, and they have various sizes, and if you get the tent and you get a shelving unit,
Hmm.
measure the inside of the tent and see what type of shelving unit you can get put in there. And you could put some plants, and I got those plants on that first page are on the first page of the PDF. Those are in my bathroom window. They look like they're on the windowsill, but they're on that bathroom windowsill. It's on the very yep, those right there.
Tell about this right here.
And that's soursop. Those are soursop. Let me see. I can't tell what the one on the right is. It looked like rosemary. It might be. It looks like because I got rosemary at the store and I took the cuttings
Mm-hmm.
and put them in water and let the roots grew on them. And when you put a plant in water to root, make sure you change the water every couple of days. You know, change it every couple of days. I use my distilled water. That works, or rainwater. They
We got
like it.
we got somebody who got a question for you. Is that a garbage bag in the container to catch the water? If so, why the
You
bag?
talking about the blue go
I
in
think
the
it was
last
in that.
pictures?
Yeah,
No, that's a screen.
yeah. That's the
That's
seat
what
out.
that's
The
you
seat
know
out.
how your screen when you leave your front door open and you leave the screen door closed. That's what that is, the screen. And I just bought screening and I cut it. I just cut it so big, and then I took rope and wrapped it around the screen so that it could
Seep out the leaves
keep
and.
the little
Rub-
bugs out. And mosquitoes like the water, the sitting
Mhm.
water. So what I do, I take the lemongrass. I got lemongrass, and I cut it up, and I put the leaves on top of that. The lemongrass pieces that I cut, put it on top of that, and the mosquitoes don't like it. So, but it looks like that because it's full, so it's up above the screening.
Let me see.
But
Somebody.
no, it's not a bag.
It's not a bad. So we got a sister in the building. Peace, peace, peace.
Please,
Amon. And she says, sis, did you touch on putting the baking soda in the soil?
I
Why?
never, I've never done that.
I've never
I
done
don't,
that
I
either.
don't even know why people do it.
I've never done that either.
I've seen where they said put Epsom salt, and I just never did it. I
I,
feel like it's gonna burn the roots or something. I don't know.
yeah, I've never done that. So,
Do you know why? Oh, you asking us?
right. I, I've never done that. So, but yeah, we recommend not doing that. That's just from a perspective.
Is it to kill bugs?
I don't know. Um,
I just about to look it up. It says baking soil. There's some people claim that putting baking soil around baking soda on the soil around tomatoes make the fruit sweeter. Because baking soda is alkaline, it reduces acidity in the soil. Less acidic soil means less acidic acid in the plants, and therefore sweeter tomatoes. But tomatoes are uh, the earth produces tomatoes for whatever it needs to give us. So I don't want to take that out of the tomato. It needs to be as acidic as it is. And another thing to remember is like we eat tomatoes in the summer, right? But tomatoes don't grow in the winter, so we probably shouldn't be eating them in the winter.
right.
But that's just And also remember that this is one thing I forgot. I've been planting squash and stuff um, in the summer, and just because we get the stuff in the store, I wasn't thinking. And I was wondering why my squash wouldn't grow. And it's because it's too hot. You're supposed to plant it prior to spring and you'll get your harvest. And then later, after the summer, when it cools off, you plant it again, like November, October, November, you plant squashes.
Hmm.
But sometimes you forget because things are in the store and peppers. Peppers aren't really to be planted in the heat either. They
Right.
don't they don't like the heat either.
Mm-mm.
So
And I think what it says.
yes, we should eat local. Yes.
Is there anything to put in the soil to music it? Perhaps if we can't find organic soil. My bad, I'm coming in late.
Okay, you talking about like to make it okay? Just like I said, when I don't find that yellow bag, I use the red one. It's not organic. And then, when you buy your trees, they have them little balls in them,
Mhm.
whatever. That's supposed to be like letting off, releasing food into the plant. So I
Yeah.
try to knock as much as that off of it as I can. But it's better to buy bare root trees that don't have, they just bare root. There's no soil or nothing. So when you order those, they come in a box and they'll have something wrapped around and keep it from drying out. But you put those right in the ground and you do the soil mixture um, based on what they say you need. Lead farmer is good for showing you what to put in your and how to plant those bare root trees, because you
Mhm.
can plant them in the ground. You can plant them also in a big container. But when I have soil that's not organic, what I do, I mix it with my compost, the coconut coir, the azomite, and I'm rebuilding it from that point. So, that's all you can do.
Yep.
And it'll basically become better soil.
Yep. I guess
And yeah.
they said the baking soda is just used to check the pH of the soil. So it's a
To
soil
check
test.
it.
Yeah, it's a soil test. That's according to Unique Evans and what. Um,
Okay.
so
I have never done a soil test on my I've never done one.
I neither. That's different. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Mm, I feel like I put that stuff down and it turned black and I'm like, oh shoot. Black gold.
Right. Is that you have to have one male, one female plant also.
Of what?
Right. Um,
It just depends on what it is.
hmm Thanks, sis. I'm gonna go back and watch the whole thing. And this person, I went to school for
Oh, that's awesome.
what?
I know
Oh,
I looked for some stuff. They was charging too much. Out of my league. I'm like, okay.
yeah. It said sometimes it's too
Yeah,
much.
my backyard is hard as rock. Hard as rock. And when I put that stuff down, I put the cardboard down and built it up with the cardboard, the mulch, the soil, and it softened up. It
Mhm.
softened up. And then I have a side of my yard that I don't have anything on that's sandy. One side is clay, thick clay, and the other side is sandy. So
Mhm.
sometimes I put uh, that sand in my soil, depending on what I'm planting. Because corn that helps break up the thickness of it, the thickness of the soil.
Mhm.
When I need a softer soil, I'll put that sand in. I'll just go over there and scoop up some sand and mix it in there.
It said, "Oh, you should do the test. They are easy." Oh, okay. Where can we get the PDF?
Uh, is it a way to put it in the chat or something?
We could put it on the Hawab website and then well your contact information and then
Okay.
HawabDFW.org.
What was that?
That's the HawabDFW.org and Sister Mia's information will be in there. So um she said some need the sand. You right. hmm
hmm
What else, y'all? Y'all got questions? What other questions y'all got?
And you're not expected to know everything. Don't think that you have to know everything, because I could. I can't even tell you how many times I done looked at YouTube videos, and some of them I watch them, more than once.
Mhm.
Like, I got a passion fruit out there. I gotta go and see. I probably need to cut it down and then put it in my greenhouse for the winter because I don't think it's gonna survive. Um, the mother plant didn't survive last year, so I'm gonna put that in my greenhouse. Dig it up. I got a rosemary plant out there. I'm gonna dig up, put it in a pot, put it in the greenhouse. I ain't taking no chances with some of my stuff. And the banana plants, you can basically cut them down to the ground and they'll come back the next year. Just make sure you cover it with enough mulch to keep the ground warm because the ground is warm under there,
Mhm.
you know.
Let's see. So it says the standard soil composite good for growing all plants, including ceremonious. I think we'll save that question
Yeah,
for
because I don't know.
we have there's an expert, but we'll save that. We'll save that for another day.
Yeah, passion fruit, man. I almost had some. I think the birds or the squirrels might have, because they be running around here like they on the playground.
They were like food free. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
ain't nobody watching.
Oh, we be out there. They used to us now. They just be running, chasing each other up the tree on the top of the house. All right, Lord. Come on
Ah, let's see.
now.
What else, y'all? Yeah, what other questions y'all got? Okay, I'm gonna flash this to me as information again. Y'all need to contact this sister. She gonna bust it down for now because it's gonna be hard to get a hold of her for a little bit. But
Yeah, because I'm about to shut down for the rest of the year. I
mhm.
focus on some things I gotta get done.
So y'all make good use. Otherwise watch the video again. Um, what else is that? I love Sarah.
Yes. Plant them seeds. They're gonna take a minute to sprout though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean a good minute.
I'm gonna try to plant some like he says.
You take and what I do is like I cheat a little bit. I'll take the seed and kind of scrape it's like an edge around it, and I kind of flatten that edge so that way the seed can bust through easier,
Mm-hmm.
and then put it in the soil, and it'll probably take a month or two to sprout. Them thick seeds, boy. Was I got two chamoya apple trees out there. They haven't sprouted yet, but I believe they want to be in the ground.
Mhm.
So that might be one of the things that I do. And then I may get to the point where I could do live, uh, assistance
Mm.
live versus, because I don't know Galveston at like that's below Houston, ain't it?
Yeah, it's close towards the.
Yeah, to help people, set up they gardens and stuff. I'm not real detailed like some of these companies or whatever, but I can let you know what I know and what works, that I know that works.
Yes. Okay. What other questions y'all got? All right, y'all. I'm gonna flash this to me as information again. Y'all got questions? Cause you know why I'm asking, right?
Just take some seeds, some kind of seeds, dry them out, and do that this week, and put a note in the Hawab or in under the video and say what you did,
Ooh, that's a good challenge. That's a
how
good.
long it took to sprout, and
What else, y'all? What else? What else? What
use what
else?
you got.
Okay. Well, we definitely appreciate the cooking that you were doing. You brought the heat, like Doctor Dred said. You bringing the heat. So We will do this again, y'all. So but we had to give you a little
Wow.
taste. Give you a little taste. What's it since you start being your city crew? Oh, you doing drone training? Hmm.
Okay.
All right. Shoot. I need to holler at you. I think that's gonna do it, y'all. Y'all know what you know what time it is. I'm gonna flash Sister Mia's information again of how to get in contact with her because this is very good stuff. So we'll see y'all for the next class. We'll have
Peace,
a different
Sam.
we have a different subject, but this is where you get in contact with Sister Mia. And we'll see y'all next week. So let me end this. We out of here.